Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and one of the number one questions that I get about Caleb and Brown is when are they going to open an office in the U.S.? Well, they did open an office in the U.S. It's in Fort Lauderdale, and this guy's name is Andrew. Let me see if I can pull up his name. Andrew G. He is one of the people at the Fort Lauderdale office that you can go visit, and Jim Bazzani, when I interviewed him, told me that all you have to do is email or call your broker and you can ask for it to go visit, and you can.
After 4 years at Caleb & Brown, I'm proud to be leading our first US office out of Fort Lauderdale. My name is Andrew Garside. I'm one of the senior brokers here at Caleb & Brown. I've been in finance for 10 years, starting at a large investment bank as a trader on global equity markets. I traded in many different markets, including Asia, Australia, and the US. I moved over to a small boutique firm as an analyst for tech stocks, and I learnt more about tokenization and cryptocurrency and the direction it was headed in the future. In 2021, I made the move to Caleb & Brown to help manage my clients' portfolios with the same care and discipline as I did in traditional finance. After 4 years at Caleb & Brown, I'm proud to be leading our first US office out of Fort Lauderdale. I'm very excited to be able to meet our clients face to face. If you want to work with someone who understands both traditional markets and crypto, head to calebandbrown.com and get in touch.
So that's the guy. He's running the office. If you haven't opened an account yet like I did, go to xrpwealth589.com and it'll forward you to my page on Caleb & Brown. You hit sign up today. You get free institutional custody. You get a broker that you can email, call, or send a message through the app. And you can place trades and orders through email, which is what I do. And then, of course, you get the liquidity for your exit when that time comes. The market's down. Still nothing to talk about the market. Now, in my last video, I told you I just donated to John Deaton. This guy is going to beat Ed Markey. John Deaton's going to be a senator in the state of Massachusetts. And do you know how big of a deal that is to have a pro crypto guy? He's not just pro XRP, you Bitcoiners. He's pro Bitcoin too. He owns more Bitcoin than XRP, or at least he did. I don't know where he's at now, but he's just a pro crypto guy, and he's an honest guy, and he's a good guy. He's one of the few good guys out there. But I wanted to mention that I donated this morning with cash, but they also take crypto. You can donate crypto. If you click here, there's actually a drop down. Let's see, you can donate XRP. He's got a drop down for XRP. Look, you can donate $7,000 worth of XRP if you want. But anyway, so that is an option if you just wanted to send John some crypto. Whatever your choice of crypto is, go to, let me see that website again, johndeaton4senate.com. Dom Kwok, as usual, is right over the target. As more and more people get into crypto, XRP will be the number one cryptocurrency these new entrants buy. It's really that simple. He's right. So is Vincent Van Code. In a couple of years' time, native XRP will not really be for sale directly, only via ETFs and potentially other exposures or market maker style holdings with your bank. Only major custodians will hold it on behalf of banks, fund managers, etc. Seriously, if there was ever a time to remind you don't know what you hold, it's not maxi speak. The playbook is just progressing along. A 15-year plan will conclude by 2030. I believe that's exactly where this is going. I plan on being the equivalent of a central bank or a lender of last resort. That's always what I wanted to do with this. Phil Kwok knows. This is that tweet I showed you in the last video where he said that Ripple's playing 4D chess. Remember this clip?
Well, XRP, and I sometimes have to remind the world of this, but XRP is at the heart and soul of what Ripple is doing. We care deeply. We have called it our North Star. But at the end of the day, we want to do things that are good for the XRP ecosystem. We want to build trust in XRP. We want to build utility in XRP. we want to build liquidity in XRP. And each of the acquisitions we do, in one way or another, we believe it will do those things. Now, it may not be, some people may look at it and be like, I don't really, scratch their head a little bit. Well, I promise you that we see in the three-dimensional game of chess, we see how we believe that's going to evolve. Sometimes we'll probably do things that are more obvious and some less obvious. That's okay with us.
Right, there might be...
One of the advantages of being private is I don't always have to explain myself to public investors. Well...
Okay, now, I have a beef, folks. Warren Davidson has been guilty of this for a long time. He's been a Bitcoin and Ethereum maxi type for a long time. I've got a problem with any of our Congress people who are pushing for certain digital assets and not the entire industry as a whole. And here, Warren Davidson is trying to do the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. And what I said is, why do we have Warren Davidson or any other politician being ideologues in support of only one digital asset such as Bitcoin? Why not initiate policies for all digital assets? This is a free market economy after all, right, Warren? We've been pushing for a level playing field from the get-go, and that is what they've tried to rig this market for Bitcoin. The politicians have been involved for the last decade. This is the exact opposite of what we want. I don't mind Bitcoin being in a strategic reserve, but make these and he's also mentioning making transactions tax-free. If you're going to do that for Bitcoin, you need to do it for all digital assets.
Today, I'm announcing that we're introducing the Bitcoin for America Act, and this deals with codifying the Strategic Bitcoin Reserve Executive Order and eliminating capital gains tax if you want to pay your taxes with Bitcoin. Now, a lot of hold on for dear lifers are going to, why would I part with my Bitcoin? I understand the concern. You don't have to, but you can. I started paying attention to Bitcoin back in 2012, 2013 when it was under $200. But when I came to Congress in 2016, I think a Bitcoin was $500 or $600. And you would think over that time, when it's peaked as high as north of $120,000, that some of my colleagues would have said, this guy might be right about some of these things. Yeah. But Congress is pretty stubborn. They stay the course. But think about that in terms of what it could do for a country that's $38 trillion in debt. Think if the United States was accumulating Bitcoin since 2012.
Okay, and then he went on to Stuart Varney?
Congressman Warren Davidson is introducing a new bill to codify Trump's executive order for a U.S. Bitcoin reserve. Congressman Davidson joins me now. Congressman, a series of questions here. Number one, what is a Bitcoin reserve? What does it do? And how do you build it?
Well, first of all, the president created a strategic reserve of Bitcoin in part because the United States government didn't have like a single custodian. You had every agency.
You really don't have to watch all that. You get the point. I got a problem with that. Now, this is a great tweet by Zach Rector. XRP yield. Everybody's talking about XRP yield and all this stuff. Well, I'd like to know a summary of the results. What is the actual yield? Anyway, he lays it out here. I'm tracking all the platforms providing yield to the XRP community, and I'm looking for feedback about how much have you earned so far, how often are distributions made. If you have earned from any of the platforms listed below, please let us know. And if I missed any in the comments, full breakdown to follow. Excited to see how this develops over the next 12 months. This is a great idea to keep track of the yield that everybody's getting on these different platforms and when they're doing the distributions and how that all works. Now, this is how I've always thought of this space, folks. XRP is the Google, and a lot of these are prototypes that are going to become dinosaurs.
One of the things that I always try to think about in all of my frameworks, whether it's like Ethereum or Zcash or Bitcoin or whatever, is this Lycos, right? Like Lycos was the #1 search engine in 1997, doesn't exist today. And that's one of the things I always just try to think of. And, admittedly, like always scares me with ETH, like, is this fucking Lycos, right? And I hope it's Google and not Lycos.
Exactly. Okay, this is Hester Pierce talking about the Ripple case with Thinking Crypto.
So let's talk about the Ripple case.
We can finally talk about it.
So Commissioner Peirce, there's going to be a lot of the XRP army listening here. Why was this case brought in the first place? Was it just simply, it was the Wild West days of the crypto market, the regulators, the industry, no one really knew what was going on, just that this is a technology we're building, we're innovating? Was that the crux of it?
Well, as I said at the beginning, I can only speak for myself.
Sure.
And since I didn't support the case, you're probably not asking the right woman why we brought the case.
Right.
Again, it was part of a broader effort that I was concerned about, which is using enforcement to try to write rules in a pretty difficult landscape.
Sure.
And so what I think would have made more sense is to think about how different projects were going about offering their tokens and trying to get to a world where we did end up with better disclosure, but also where folks had the choice of whether they wanted to participate in these markets or not.
Sure. What did you think?
Okay, we don't have to watch the rest of that. I wanted to hit this. Today's the day, folks. BitWise milestone day for XRP community. This morning, the BitWise XRP ETF began trading on the NICE. With today's launch, investors have a new convenient way to get spot exposure to XRP, crypto asset looking to disrupt $250 million market for global payments. Why is XRP intriguing? One of the longest running crypto assets, 13 plus years. XRP Army, super passionate community of supporters, 125 billion market cap, going after a huge opportunity, cross-border payments, tokenization, operating in a crypto-forward regulatory environment with the chance to fully unlock its potential. Through crypto's ups and downs over the past decade, plus XRP has shown great resilience and played a key role in crypto's move to the mainstream. We're thrilled to launch XRP today. They got the best ticker symbol in all of ETFs. Okay, a lot more on the BitWise ETF in the group. I'm also going to show you how it's performed so far. I'm going to give you my thoughts on it. Go to daixrp.com. That's the Patreon. If you'd rather join through YouTube, click join below any of these videos. If you'd rather join through X, hit subscribe. We do the full video plus the extended video with no commercials. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, tell your friends and family. Here we go.